the same thing.
We
but,
live. We live. I'm just saying. I said, look, you can see it. You remember? I was like, look. Hey, how's everyone doing out there? How are you, Kim?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah,
right. We're a little behind because some technical difficulties. You know, that's just how it goes, right?
Right.
But we don't quit. We don't stop. We keep going. We just, work through it. Ain't that right, Kim?
Absolutely.
Got to close the door, but it's okay. It's all right. Ain't nobody out there anyway.
Right.
All right, let's check and make sure everything look good, sound good.
Well,
Do our best. You know what I mean? Okay, let's see here. I hear yours. Which one you on, Kim?
YouTube.
You on YouTube? Okay, I'm on Facebook, all right? So let me get in here real quick. It should be all right. If you're just now joining us, let us know if everything look good, sound good. I don't hear anything just yet.
Checking
All right.
the gram.
I think we good. I ain't even do Instagram.
You didn't?
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I did, but I didn't. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a day. It's been a day. You know that, Kim? It has been an entire day. So let me see if I can still go.
Okay.
I'm gonna try it real quick. Probably not though. Oh well, we just gonna stick with Facebook and YouTube today.
YouTube.
That's it. Okay.
YouTubing it.
What's up, Lena Lee?
Hey, Lena.
I'm telling you right now. It's been a day, y'all. Okay. So no TikTok, no Instagram.
No tick to the talk.
You know what I mean? But we here.
Yes, that we are.
Okay. And I don't like this music, so I'm gonna skip it. I need some energy.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh.
Get the juices flowing.
Listen, man. So yeah, we could talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the fact that things happen and you keep going, but it's like looking at what may have caused you to be dealing with issues, right? So we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. But let's go ahead and we're gonna get this show started because we running behind.
Let's
go.
go.
Let's do it. What's up, people? Welcome to Quit for What. I'm your host, Ramon Jamal.
And I'm Kim B.
Kim B is in the building, y'all. So listen, like we were saying before we got going, we had some setbacks, but we here and we're gonna keep it moving,
Right.
But we're gonna talk about that. But I don't know, Kim, maybe I should go ahead and speak on that and share that with the people real quick first,
I think
right?
you should.
Okay, and then we're gonna get into whatever you want to share with the people.
All right.
All right.
Let's get it.
So listen, y'all. We're trying to get this to the next level, right? I got my entrepreneur endeavors and whatnot, right? And, in reality, I work a job as well. You know what I'm saying? So the goal is, in reality, to be able to just be a full-time entrepreneur, right?
Right.
So sometimes, you might have some obligations with your day job that might hinder you from doing some things on your entrepreneur side of things. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you got to work harder, right? To show up and for things to work out right.
Right.
Right. But in a nutshell, the goal is
Right.
to get away from that. So all your focus is on your entrepreneur endeavors, right?
Right.
So basically, that's why we here.
Right.
Okay.
I call it what you're doing now is called the balancing act.
Yeah, I'm trying to balance everything. But so Quit for What, we're here to motivate, educate, and inspire entrepreneurs that are pursuing their passions to not give up.
Absolutely. Do not give up.
Quit for what? That's right, Kim.
Don't do it.
That's right. So, Kim, you got anything you want to share with the people before we dive into our conversation?
I think I do.
You think you do?
I think I do.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you guys know, we decided to do the word of the day, or Word Tuesday, maybe.
No, just
You wanna
word
come
of
up
the
with
day.
a word of the day. Okay, just thought I'd put a little spin on it, or try something. I don't know.
It's all
but,
good.
but anyways, so our word for today is adaptability. Okay.
That's good.
Yes.
It's kind of what we were just talking about a little bit.
Absolutely. Okay. Successful entrepreneurs understand that adaptability is key to navigating the ever-changing landscape of business and seizing new opportunities for growth.
Okay.
Adaptability.
That's it.
Don't
That's
ask me to spell it.
Stop playing. You silly. You got it there in front of you, girl. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
You silly, man. But yeah, so I think being able and willing to adapt. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everyone's, for the most part, able to adapt, to adjust, to make changes. But are you willing to do that? You know what I mean? Are you stuck in like you already got it and you don't need to do nothing different?
Right. There are some people out there like that.
So that's a good word.
Yes, I thought it was pretty good too. I mean, they gave me some other ones, but I just wanted to kind of to just something that stood out. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was one because, as you can see, things are constantly changing.
Right.
Okay. So when things are constantly changing, you have to be an adaptable person, because even in your own personal endeavors, things are constantly changing. For instance, different apps. There's always something new coming out. So you got to be able to be current as much as you can with whatever new technology is out there, or things change in the workplace. You got to be able to be flexible and change with it. Otherwise, you're going to be left behind.
I know that's right. And too, just like we were just talking about, being able to like I said, the difficulties that come along, you gotta just, hey, we can't do this one today. We gonna focus on this one.
Right.
You gotta don't dwell in it or dwell on it. Just adapt and keep it moving.
Right. And that's what you did. Just because one platform wasn't working, that didn't mean, oh, we can't have the show today.
No, we gonna keep it moving.
Right. We keep it moving. You use what you have, and then in your off time, you figure out what, you know what I'm saying? Why that didn't work. And
that's another thing too. You gotta think about it. The reason that I'm thinking also is because how many times does software that you use update? Right. So they're doing their updates, but then there's other software that might not have updated, and you know what I mean? So there's a conflict. Right. So those things happen as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You made me think about an example would be the iPhone. They update daily, every day.
Right.
So if you don't plug your phone in for about 3 or 4 days,
you're behind.
You're behind.
All right. So Lena Lee just made a comment, said, when I hear that word, I immediately think of being flexible.
Yes.
And that's what it is. You got to be flexible.
Absolutely, right? Lena.
Yeah. You got to always be willing to be flexible. Don't compromise to a fault, like, you know what I mean? To mess yourself up. But, think on it. And it's like, okay, that's, we can make that happen.
And I'm going to bring something up that I always talk about.
You go ahead, Kim.
So, in that book I told you about, it talks about
who moved my cheese?
Yes, who moved my cheese?
Somebody move your cheese. You got to be able to.
If any of you guys are out there that have read this book and know how amazing it is, please comment. Yeah. Please send a comment. Right. Like it's just it focuses on not just work, but home, family, everything in your life. Things are constantly changing. Yeah. You can either stay behind and wait on the cheese, or you can keep going where everybody else is moving to and possibly get to the bigger cheese.
Because you're worried about the cheese that you had. Like, somebody moved my cheese. But it's more cheese, better cheese.
Right. And you feel the concept of where they're going with it.
I got you.
It's an eye-opener.
Don't dwell on the cheese that got moved. Right. Basically.
Right.
I got to read the book, okay? Because I'm just...
I promise you'll love it. I've turned people on to it. And it's a quick read.
Okay.
So,
All right, cool.
yeah.
Cool. All right. So listen, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get into the conversation of today. And that is podcasting to boost your entrepreneurial journey. Okay. So, you already know this is big for me because like I spoke previously, you know, I do the podcasting, but I also have a, you know, videography, photography, podcasting business, that, you know, I use those skills for other individuals and organizations, to help them to market themselves. Right.
Right.
But we need to, you know, think about how we can use this platform of podcasting, to, you know, market ourselves. Right. So anyone out there that's an entrepreneur that's not in this space as of yet, you need to think about it because it's a good way to get the word out about your product or service.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, just by way of conversation. You think about that, right? So by way of just having a conversation, and then you can take that and you can, you know, cut the good parts out and repost those as little short clips or commercials.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it is a awesome tool to utilize, right?
Right. We just taking the short way out versus television. Now you got the podcast, and you could do a lot of stuff with that.
Yeah, for a lot less.
Videos, right? For way less.
Right. So that's just like I said, you know, off of my head, the benefits. So now let's go into what we got here and see. It's probably gonna say some things possibly similar to what I just said. Okay, so just roll with me. All right, the power of podcasting for entrepreneurs. Okay, and the first thing is expand your reach and build a personal brand. Right, and the example is by starting a podcast on digital marketing, you can reach potential clients globally, showcasing your expertise and establishing your brand as a thought leader in your field. All right. So just, you know, thinking about expanding your reach and building a personal brand, it seems that when you are doing video and you do it a lot, people start to recognize you. All right. If they're in your local area, they might recognize you from the show that you're doing or whatever it may be. But people start to feel like they know you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a way of building like that person. It's kind of, people get personal with it. You know what I'm saying? It feels personal, like you've developed a relationship.
Right. Because they can see you, they can hear you, they see your mannerisms.
Right.
You know, all that. Right. So that's how, you know, people get to feel like they know you. I think I heard recently, I want to say like communicating, right? Like what percentage of communication is nonverbal? Take a guess, Kim. What you think?
I'm gonna let you tell me.
I believe, and somebody correct me, I believe it's like 70 or 80% of communicating is nonverbal.
Well, that might be true.
Well, might be. I mean, this is statistically. You know what I mean?
Statistically,
it's out there.
True, yeah,
it's out there. It's been, you know, analyzed. So, you know, so saying that, if you think about doing a podcast, especially like a video form, you can do audio as well, but people get to see how you react,
right?
Your facial expressions when certain things are said.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And it's the real you.
It's you, unless you being fake. Like we talked about before. Like,
right. No, you're right. I mean, it's the real you. It's not putting on for the people or putting on a disguise.
Yeah.
That you got to be this way. Just be raw and real. Like I was telling some people the other day, I watch follow a couple different people on YouTube. But one of the things I do like is that they're very comfortable. But they're relaxed because they're just being themselves.
Right.
You know, I mean, minus a few things being said, but that doesn't hurt me or bother me at all. That's just their way of being comfortable.
And you getting to know them and who they are as a person, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take away from their personality or anything. It's just, this is me.
That's it.
you know?
Yeah.
And that's it.
And I heard another story too. I forget what it was, but it was just, something like about somebody being themselves and the fact that like they mentioned that like they don't like Chipotle. And then it was like somebody that saw it that was like a brand or organization and they was like, we don't like, I don't like Chipotle either. So they had a connection with just that. Just the fact that the person said they don't like Chipotle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they had to put themselves out there for that to, be heard by somebody that became a client.
Right.
You know what I mean? Might be a little far-fetched, but that's a story that happened, right?
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. Okay. All right. And the next point here is establish yourself as an authority in your industry. So you think about establishing yourself as an authority in your industry. The example is interviewing industry experts and sharing their insights positions you as a knowledge connector and expert in your niche or niche, however you want to say it. Both of them. All right. So if you think about that, right? So if you do, a podcast, you're putting yourself out there and you're talking about your product or service, and people start to look at you as an expert in that thing, right? If you're a candle maker, you're talking about making candles, right?
Right.
You're showing the process of you making candles, some of the candles you made.
Right. Now you look like a professional.
You showing your skills.
Right.
But then there's a whole bunch of other candle makers that aren't doing this on a regular basis.
Right.
Who do you think that they're going to think of when they want, a custom candle or to try a new candle?
You.
Yeah, because
The
you
candle maker.
Because you're putting it out there.
Exactly. Yeah. People can see it. They can't see product or see what it is you're doing if you're not
putting it out there.
Putting it out there.
That's it.
Just
so
let word of mouth do the work.
Yeah. But yeah, with this again, like we said, and then people, I believe, I always forget how to say it. They buy from who they know, like, and trust. Right. So you build that up.
Right. That's
by way
true.
of, by way of doing this medium.
Right.
Right.
Let the people see.
That's it. Got to put it out there. I had another thought on that, but it slipped my mind, Kim.
You lost it.
Yeah, I lost it. It was going to be prolific.
Don't you hate that when it's something good, like it's really, really good, and then you be like, oh, I got to get this out. If I don't get it out, I'm going to lose it.
Oh, I got it.
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to be prolific or not. I'm just joking, but all right. So it said here, it positions you as a knowledge connector and expert in your niche. So that the word knowledge connector. Okay. So I was on like a call for podcasting, just trying to discover, what it is that I'm doing. Right. And I told them about I bring in people that, are entrepreneurs, and they talk about their story of going through the mud and not giving up.
Right.
The obstacles, the opportunities and all that. Right. So they was like, you are a knowledge broker is what they called me. Right. So I use that in a sense. Right. So say this, y'all. You don't have to know everything about everything. You can bring in somebody who's an expert at whatever that thing is, and you still are facilitating the conversation.
Right.
Right. So you are a knowledge connector or a knowledge broker.
Right.
You know what I mean? You just got to be comfortable with having conversations.
Right.
And that's it.
It made me think about, how you're on a job.
Look at you talking about jobs.
No,
go ahead.
I'm going somewhere with this.
We just had this kind of. No, go ahead.
No, yeah, when you're on the job and you know so much. I know some people. I remember one time they said, yeah, knowing the amount of knowledge that you do have can make or break you.
Yeah.
Reason being is the more that you know, the more people are going to come to you for those answers for any questions that they have. And so as being an entrepreneur, you will want people to come and ask you questions, even if you didn't know the answer to it.
Right.
But what are you supposed to say when you don't know the answer?
let me get back to you.
Exactly.
That's
So it's no different than having a job and you having to say the same thing. The same thing with your business or as an entrepreneur. People see that you know, everything that you do, you put everything out there, and then you come to a point where they're asking you all kind of questions. Maybe you don't have the answer, but you're going to tell them the same thing you would as if you were at work. I don't have the answer, but if you give me a little bit, I can come back and I'll have an answer for you.
I'll get right back to you. That's it.
That's all it is.
Yeah. What's up, Italian Cherry in the building? So today we are talking about leveraging podcasting to boost your entrepreneurial journey. That's what we're speaking on. And thank you so much for joining us. And I see Lena just wrote a book to us, so let me see if I can read that here real quick. I'm playing, Lena. Thank you for that. Okay, so Lena said that is where celebrity branding comes from. People feel like they know Oprah, so they trust buying her products. Okay, Michael Jordan is another example. His skills made people want to pay for his shoes.
Yes,
that's what's up. You know.
Yeah.
So saying that, his skills made them want to pay for his shoes. That was a good one, Lena.
That was a really good one.
So look,
yes.
if he, first of all, think about his journey. If he didn't practice, first, let's go back. If he did not develop a passion for basketball, right? If he didn't practice hard to become a great player, to even make it into the NBA, right?
Right.
So he had to go through all that ups and downs of that, right? But then he was able to be seen on a big, I'm gonna say the big screen, right? On TV and all that, and people got to know, like, and you could say trust him as being a good player,
right?
And if he create a shoe, like it's gonna be good because he good, right? So we have an opportunity to learn our skill, or have a passion for it first. Practice to be good, get good at it, become an expert at it, and then show it. Right?
Yeah.
And Michael Jordan had to continue to show it before people bought into him being one of the greats, right? So you have to continue to show that you're good at the thing, for people to want to buy it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And that and people got to see. It wasn't just mouth to mouth. So he's willing to get on national television, or
Hey, you mean word of mouth? You say mouth to mouth.
I meant to say.
What are you out here doing, MJ?
No, I meant to say word of mouth.
Okay.
I don't know why I said mouth to mouth.
What you doing out here?
Giving CPR.
Come on, man. You want to buy your shoes because you're good at CPR?
Right.
What you doing?
But he put himself out there.
Yeah.
You know? So.
That's it. So good one, Lena. We appreciate you for that. Okay, let's get into the next point, which is network with industry leaders and potential clients. Okay. The example of that is hosting successful entrepreneurs on your podcast can open doors to partnerships and business opportunities. Right? So let's do this. All right. So this is something that was just brought back to my attention, something to think about. If you're hosting a podcast and you have individuals on who have a product or service, you're giving them a platform to market their said product or service.
Right.
So you need to ask them, do they have an affiliate link? Okay. And by getting an affiliate link, it's like, listen, I'm giving you access to my audience. And if I can have my own affiliate link, then anyone who purchases using this link, I get a percentage.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's something to think about ahead of time when you are, bringing people on to your show as well.
Right.
Another thing too, just even with that, say, it's something that you really enjoy using when you are making whatever it is, or your service, right? So you might use a certain product that you think is like the best. Find an affiliate link to that, right? Amazon,
Right.
you can become an affiliate
Yep.
with Amazon, and you can create your own page with all the stuff that you use. And when people purchase that stuff, you get a percentage,
Exactly.
some kickback.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. That's how you monetize,
Yeah.
right? So all of these things can help you to put money back into what you're doing. You know what I mean? And keep it going.
Right. You creating what do they call it? That residual.
Yeah.
income.
That's it. That is it. All right. So the next one is integrating podcasting into your business strategy. Okay. Using podcasting to showcase your expertise, like we spoke about, right? Example, if you're a fitness coach, create episodes that provide workout tips, nutrition advice, and success stories from your clients, right? We had Brian Piranha.
Yes.
Remember he was on, right? I don't know if he has a podcast, but just imagine that, right?
Right.
You got a fitness podcast and you people they want to watch because they want to see what you're doing for real.
Right.
Like, how did you get in shape like that? Right? What exercises are you doing?
Right.
What are you eating?
Yep.
And a big part is the mindset.
That's a very big part. Very big. I mean, if you get your mindset right, everything else will flow like it should be. It really is all about the mindset.
Yeah. And you think about that too. Like if somebody does a podcast like that, you get to kind of see what their mindset is, right? So you can kind of like, okay, so I see how this person thinks.
Right.
And maybe I can make some changes.
Right.
Because hey, look, they always talking about, I get up at 5 a.m., I drink a raw egg. No, I'm just playing. That was Rocky. But
protein.
Right. But it's them putting themselves out there allows you to see into their lives, basically.
Right.
Especially if they being real and genuine, like we talked about.
Right.
So it's a plus. Okay. All right. So the next one here is, let me see. Did I? Okay. Creating content that aligns with your business goals. Okay. So creating content that aligns with your business goals. Okay. So example is a real estate agent can discuss market trends, home buying tips, and interview other industry professionals to attract potential buyers and sellers. Right? So again, it's like this is somebody who provides a service to help people,
right,
find homes, or, they're selling the house or whatever it is. Right? So I'm talking about, the ups and downs of the interest rates and,
right,
where the market is sitting. And,
right.
And look, if I'm selling something, I'm going to let you know the best time to buy.
Right, right. Giving all kind of gems and.
Right.
Yeah.
And here's the thing too, like if you are an expert at that thing, people are going to fact check. So if you speaking that and they go, look, better make sure that it's on point.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it is still a way to position yourself as an expert in that field. You know what I'm saying? So
you do not want to tell anybody you sold 50 homes and only sold 2.
I'm pretty sure you probably find out. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna find out.
He's like, no one's gonna know. You're like,
they're gonna find out.
So yeah, y'all. But it's it is a good platform, a good way to promote yourself, like we said, product or service. I'm sorry, Lena, I didn't mean to show you thought again, but without spending a ton of money, because you can just use your cell phone.
Right.
You don't need all this fancy equipment. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just get your cell phone out.
Yep.
Go to a place that's pretty quiet.
Yep.
And do your thing.
Go for it.
Get some good lighting. If you don't have lighting, open the window up on a sunny day.
on a sunny day.
No excuses. No excuses. All right. So the next one is leveraging podcast episodes as marketing tools. Okay. And again, this is just, we touch on these, but it's just, different examples of it, right? So the example is, share podcast episodes on your business, website, social media, and newsletters to drive traffic and engage your audience, right? So we talked about, doing a long form podcast, but being able to get like highlight clips from that, right?
Right.
And posting and sharing those clips. Okay. Another thing that we talked about is, this spoke about a newsletter, right? To drive traffic.
Yep.
Right. So I'm thinking a newsletter, that's like, you got to have emails, right? So we got to start collecting.
Oh, right. I was thinking about that too.
if all this go down, how you going to reach your customers?
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But thinking about the fact that you can embed your video or your short or whatever it is into that email, that newsletter, and a person can click on it and see it, right there. So if all these social networks go down, you still got this content, you still can distribute it in a way, right?
Right.
So people can still get to see you.
Right. Yep.
And see what you're working on and what you're doing.
Agree. Agreed.
All right. So the next one here is finding your unique voice and niche, or niche, however you want to say it. Identifying your passion and aligning it with your business. Okay. Example, a tech entrepreneur passionate about innovation could create a podcast discussing the latest tech trends and their business implications, right?
Right.
So just back to, finding your unique voice or niche. You gotta, we talked about, being real, being who you are, right?
Right.
And I think that when it's talking about finding your unique voice, I think that finding what you feel comfortable with talking about. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, if I'm put on the spot to talk about, something to do with like science or whatever it is, I'm not gonna want to, you know what I'm saying?
You don't want to get booked or any credit.
Listen, I ain't saying that. I'm just saying, it's been a long time.
I'm just kidding.
It's been a long time. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna feel comfortable with like talking about protons and neutrons. I don't know. Like, what do we? I can do the research.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can get the materials.
Right.
But I'm not gonna really feel
nothing
comfortable.
Off the dome.
Yeah, I ain't adding nothing to that.
Nope.
I'm reading straight. I'm reading straight off the paper.
Right. Science book said.
Right. I ain't adding nothing to it. Right. But if you go into podcasting and you're talking about, again, something that you're passionate about,
and naturally that's just gonna flow.
It's gonna flow.
It's just gonna flow. And a lot of times when people are passionate about something, it's not even you don't even need a textbook. It's purely off of experience, working in that field, people you've worked with,
right?
So you have a testimony in a sense to talk about,
right?
Those different things based around what it is that you're focused on.
Yeah, and two, it can help you say like we've been talking about this. Like you start a podcast, right? And you like, okay, I'm gonna start off talking about this. This is how we gonna do it. It's gonna evolve, right?
Right.
So you're talking about finding your niche or your niche. It's gonna evolve, and when you do things like this, you can look back at the analytics. You can say, okay, well, this episode we talked about this. This was the title, right? So should we gear what we're talking about more towards this to see what happens, right?
Right.
So that's a good way to find your niche. Okay, but you got to be doing it
right
in order to figure it out.
Right, exactly.
Okay?
It's not gonna fall in your lap.
It is not. So this here is telling you that you need a podcast. Whoever you are, whatever you're doing, right? And guess who can help you to get that going? Really Goody Studios, right here. Okay.
Absolutely.
That's it. That is it. Okay. All right. So, Kim, you have anything to say about that? Anything else you want to mention?
Not for that part.
Not for that part? Okay. All right. Okay. I don't want to be, just, I'm running my mouth, Kim.
Understood.
Okay. Because I'm passionate about this.
I know.
So.
We can tell.
You can see.
We can tell.
Right. All right. So the next one is understanding your target audience and their needs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the example is survey your audience to find out what topics interest them most, right?
Mm-hmm.
And tailor your content to address these interests, right? So again, right there is, I know it's times that we talk, you're like, hey, what y'all think of this show? Did y'all enjoy it? Hope y'all did and whatnot, right? But putting it out there and then maybe doing a poll or something to see.
I was going to say, we should do something like that.
Right. We sure should,
a poll, run a poll for about a week.
Just to see, people that are tuned in.
Right.
What are you getting out of what we're putting out?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Is it beneficial? Because at the end of the day, like people say, at the end of the day,
right?
You got to get the people what they want,
and it kind of helps you. It kind of helps guide you in what direction you want to go or take things.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that didn't get, but
right.
I see people really are into this, so maybe you can elaborate a little bit more focus, or maybe even bring what you really want to put out there and collaborate, with some of the other topics.
Yeah. And that's the thing. We're not saying just deviate from what you're doing like that. But again, it's still falling in the same vein of what you're passionate about, right? You can still collect the data to see, what people are liking, and what you're doing, and just do that more. Right. You can still do the other things, but do that.
Right.
Do that a little more.
Right. It could be something simple as the approach.
Anything.
You know what I'm saying? Might put a little twist on it. Just something. And then not being afraid to, because one of the things I know I struggle with was just being with the ideas.
Yeah.
It's like anytime you sit down, like the ideas come all day long. And people used to tell me, take a notebook with you. So when you it don't have to be a big notebook, just something small. So when you do have an idea at that very moment, write it down.
Right.
Because it could be something that you could use in reference to what you're doing. But by the time you get ready to do it, like we do, we get ready for the show, and then you don't write it down, now you done forgot.
That's it.
What it is that you're trying to do. So I tell people, just like it was told to me, get a little notebook.
Yeah. I'm bad at that. I ain't gonna lie.
Or you don't even need a notebook. You can use your phone.
Yeah, your phone is it.
Yeah.
That's your new, you always got that on you for the most part.
And you can jot, it's a little thing in here called notes. And I use it for groceries and whatever else I need to remind me. So
yeah. Use the tools that are available to you.
No excuses.
That's right.
None.
Okay. All right. So the next one is differentiating yourself from competitors. All right. So we kind of talked about that earlier. Focus on a unique aspect of your industry that isn't widely covered, such as eco-friendly business practices in fashion. That's a good one. I mean, it's not like I watch that type of content, but at the same time, it's like, that's a good one for somebody to, think about fashion and think about, eco-friendly practices and whatnot. So
right, absolutely,
that's a good one, right? But at the same time, I would say, like we talked about earlier, even in your industry, if there's not a lot of people that are doing this, you already have a leg up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, I agree.
So getting into it and just being consistent with it is already putting you in a different position. Right.
And the willingness, to be out there, And that takes a lot. But as long as you're willing to do it, that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And just get started because you're going to get better at it.
Right.
Right. I know I mentioned this before too. Like, y'all see my videos back when I first started in podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
Man, listen, I was shy guy. You know?
But you've perfected it.
I don't know about perfected
it. Over time. I think he has.
I don't know about that, but I'm doing my best.
Ain't nothing shy.
Stop. Doing my best. You know? But you got to get started. You got to get going.
Yeah.
You got to do it in order to get them, butterflies out or whatever it is. But you got to think, like I said, if no one else is doing it, or it's not like a lot of people in your industry is doing it, man, you better get over them butterflies and get it out here.
Yeah. Because remember when I came on board, and I, it took me a minute to get used to the mic.
Yeah. Like I just pointed, like, get in front of the mic.
Right. I thought I was. But yeah, it took me a minute to get used to the mic, and then all of a sudden it was like one day. It was like, yeah, that's how you do it. Chew the mic.
That is it, y'all.
Chew the mic.
That's what it's called too. Like chew on the mic. So basically, and that's wild that you mentioned that, because like you said, when you first got started, you was kind of like, I'm like, Kim. Right. And then, like I'm telling y'all, it was this one episode. I'm like, oh, she is using the mic. And I told you, I'm like, Kim, okay, I see you.
Yeah,
but it took time.
It took time. But if somebody's watching you consistently, they can see the change. Just like when there's people that you watch, maybe somebody you follow when you was younger, you saw where they started from that point, and you see the consistent, they were consistent, so you were able to see them develop and change over time, whether it was good or bad, but you still see the difference, of what change does, and being consistent and how it actually affects that change.
Yeah. And the thing I think with you was, I think it was hearing your voice.
Yeah.
On the mic, in them headphones. That was kind of like, but now you done got used to it.
Yeah, I don't think I sound like a little kid anymore.
Nah, you good, Kim. You good. You know what I mean? So yeah, good job, Kim.
I've tried.
Give it up for Kim, y'all. But that is proof right there. All right. Okay. Now the next one here is content planning and strategy. Okay. Developing a content calendar that aligns with your business objectives. Okay. So this is a way that you can, get ready for like the weekly episodes or monthly, whatever you want to do. Right. Creating a content calendar, which I just, was talking to you about.
Right.
I kind of created one. And, you got to get into that groove of it and just try to stick to it. Do your best at trying to stick to it, and you'll be all right. Okay?
Right.
So example, plan a series of episodes around your product launch, providing behind the scenes insights, user stories, and related topics. So this is speaking on, like, you haven't even put it out yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So think about that, right? Think about, you have a product that you're developing and you're showing people like what this is, right? What it's going to do. It kind of reminds me of, it's called Kickstarter. You ever heard of Kickstarter? So it's like, they're showing you what it is they're making, right? And they usually like have a video or something like that. But think about if you create a podcast around that, right? So if you do that, you can see how many people want to see what you're doing. Also, especially like on YouTube and stuff, even on Facebook, you get comments, right? So maybe there's something that is said that you can address in the next episode.
Right.
Right? Maybe somebody said something that's going to make you adjust something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Before you even bring it to market.
Right. Right. And you see that a lot. Like if you're on TikTok, they'll have a video like, oh, this person made a comment and they want to respond to it, or they may just put the comment on the screen and just respond to the comment in the clip. So yeah, I mean, people do it all the time, and that's a good way to get kind of like that like we were talking about, becoming personal.
Yeah.
People like that.
That interaction.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's a good way to test the market, though.
That's true.
And listen, I'll put it to you like this. So say it's something that you want to put out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you start a podcast behind it, right? I mean, you can continue to do that podcast even if that thing does not get put out.
Right.
Because then you can turn around and talk about what you learned
Right.
along the way.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And just, evolve from there. What's up, Keita in the building? Thanks for joining, Keita. It's good to see you. Love the hair. For sure. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just imagine that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine, you are developing a product and you start a podcast behind it. You showing behind the scenes, you showing all this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the product fails for
Mm-hmm.
some reason.
Right.
Could have ran out of money, whatever it was.
Right.
I bet you people gonna want to really tune in to see
Right.
why they failed, what
Right,
happened, who did
right.
what.
They want explanations.
Right, who messed up the money?
Right.
Then it becomes like a drama.
Right.
Then
you got to tell this long backstory.
I mean, but it's
Content.
it's content.
It's content, and it's good because you lead people up to the anticipation
Yeah,
of that final reveal.
yeah. And then just think about the fact that if you keep going with it, you might find
Mm-hmm.
either somebody, say it's a money thing, you might find somebody be like, shoot, I like what y'all was doing.
Right.
I just came across y'all's series and saw it, and I
Right.
want to invest.
Right. Right.
Now here you go. Now your next episode, we have a major announcement.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
But if you're not putting that out there,
Mm-hmm.
ain't nobody gonna see
Right. Absolutely.
it. You know what I'm saying? So
Only one way to do it.
that's it. That is it. Get it out there, people. Okay. All right. So here we go. Let me see. Is this the next one? Okay. Planning episodes that offer value and insights to your audience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we kind of, we talked about, doing like a survey to find out
Mm-hmm.
what people really want, right? So that's a good thing because then you can really plan episodes
Right.
that offer value and insights to your audience, right? So the example, okay, an accountant could create episodes on tax tips, financial planning, and small business financial advice,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm gonna tell y'all for sure, right? There's this one guy. Y'all gotta think about this. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But you remember everybody was doing all that PPP and PPE or whatever it was.
Right.
It was this dude that started talking about all that and the ins and outs and what you got to do and this, that, and the other, and you know what I mean? Blew up,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Because that was, something that he saw that people was jumping on this.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, okay, I'm gonna start speaking to this because I, have a financial background. I'm maybe, a tax professional,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna let you know the ins and outs
Yeah.
and all that. But he blew up,
Mm-hmm. I've seen a few people do that.
Yeah. And two, just like you say, you've seen a few people do it. Everybody not gonna want to watch everybody.
Right.
So regardless if you saw somebody else doing it, you can do it too,
Right.
right? Because your personality, your approach, your delivery,
Mm-hmm.
your mindset, somebody else can gravitate towards that versus the next person. So
Right.
you still do it.
Mm-hmm.
Get it out here.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Okay. All
Ain't
right.
no quitting.
I know that's right. All right. So the next point is incorporating guest interviews to provide diverse perspectives. Okay. The example is invite industry experts, successful entrepreneurs, and satisfied clients to share their experiences and insights.
Mm.
All right. So look, we already talked about bringing on experts or whatever, but man, think about satisfied clients.
Right.
That's
When
a
the
different.
clients come on and talk about.
That's a different one.
Yeah.
Client spotlight. You know what I'm saying?
That would be nice to do.
But you know what? You think about that though. It's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
But then people are like, oh, you paid them to say whatever. You know what I mean? Blah blah blah. But at the same time, y'all, still, I think it's a good idea. I think it's dope.
Well, you just do like Chick-fil-A. If you've seen their commercials lately, they say, no, it's not paid.
It's not paid.
These are true customers.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think, like we said, even putting it out there, you could tell when somebody like genuinely like, yo, this for real. This was really,
Right.
I really enjoyed
Yeah.
this service or whatever, this product.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And they'll talk about it for a long time.
Right. Versus,
Yeah.
yes, it was great and I will be back. You know what I mean? It's like you can
Right.
tell when somebody like,
Or
man,
they give you a bunch of big words to say, like,
you know, but you being able to see a person, like we said earlier, 70 or 80% of conversation is your mannerisms.
yeah.
So I'm pretty sure if you picking up on that, you can tell if somebody really,
Right.
you know. So look, I'm just throwing it out there like somebody could say that, but it don't matter. Do it anyway, y'all. I'm gonna have to bring some clients on that I've, you know, shot,
Yeah.
you know, or something like that.
Yeah, I think that would be a good
That'd be cool.
idea. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or either get them to do like a little 60-second clip or something.
Yeah. No, I want to have a
that'd be
whole
cool.
conversation. I want to know, why did you choose me? That's a good one. Where did you find me? Right? Was it word of mouth? Was it social media? Whatever. Right. And that'd even be good for our audience to see, you know, because it's like, okay, now this giving me an idea where I need to position myself to be.
Right. Or even potential clients, when they see from other clients
Right.
speaking about it, they might be like, oh, dang, he doing it like that? Okay, let me holler at him real quick.
Yeah, you said real quick. Let me holler at him real quick. But again, y'all, putting it out there so people can see it. You know, this is just different ideas and examples that you can
Right.
use to start your podcast.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So let's see. The next one is, this is a good one. We're not going to get through all these, y'all. All right. But essential podcasting equipment and software for entrepreneurs.
That is important.
Okay. So this is budget friendly equipment setups. Okay. We're going to go to that. We're going to go to that. But I'm going to read this comment here first by Lena Lee in the building. All right. What you got, Lena? A lot of companies like Chick-fil-A will say the people for their testimony. Oh, so they will say that they paid, right?
Okay.
I think
know
that
that.
gives credibility, right? So, okay, that's an interesting thought. So let me just read that again, make sure I'm understanding you. So, a lot of companies like Chick-fil-A will say that they pay the people for their testimony, and I do hear that.
Is it? I thought they said that they weren't, but I was wrong.
Okay,
But I mean, at least they being honest about it.
right,
You know?
right.
Like,
And
yeah, we paid them for their testimony.
right. And she's saying she believes that gives credibility. Huh? I guess it's like if you keeping it real, like you letting people know, like, yeah, I paid the person to you know, to give their you know, their testimony. But
You remember going to either I want to say they did it at Rolling Acres.
listen to that, Rolling Acres, y'all.
Rolling Acres or at Chapel Hill Mall, when they used to stop you in the mall, like there would be survey people walking around.
Right.
And remember they used to be like, well, we'll pay you if you come back here and do the survey. I got caught so many times on them surveys.
Get a T-shirt,
Right.
a
It was
T-shirt,
kind
or
of
a
hard to
gift
say no.
a gift card.
Right. But I
Right.
mean, they did that, and they still do that. You know,
Yeah.
it's still effective to today. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
So yeah, Lena just verified. She said the commercials say they pay them. So
oh, okay.
yeah.
Sorry, Chick-fil-A.
Right.
I thought it said they weren't paid.
Yeah. So Sister Brandy is on, and let's pull up her comment here. She said, I like to show real things versus mock-ups. Brandy, I'm gonna tell you, that's good, right? I just saw somebody who posted about that, right? You got to think about it, right? And I'm pretty sure there's probably a lot of people out here that are leaning into using mock-ups more so because of AI.
Yeah.
Like AI can like make it look like you create it once and they can duplicate it and make
Right.
all the different colors and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And do all this stuff, right? Put it on a beach somewhere, like make
Right.
it, you know. But this person was like, they was showing themselves like really photographing whatever it was. And they was like, that's the move.
Yeah.
Show real stuff. Mock-ups, you know what I mean? You could tell that it's a mock-up versus
Yeah.
the real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So keep doing that, Brandy. That is a plus.
Yes. Yes.
You know
it
what I
is.
mean? Okay, so let's get back to essential podcasting equipment and software for entrepreneurs, okay? And it says budget-friendly equipment setups, right? I'm gonna read this and then I'm gonna speak on my thoughts on it, okay? So I didn't go through this before before we jumped on. I like doing that.
Right.
So I want to see what it's saying and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, elaborate on it.
Right. So this says start with a USB microphone, like the Blue Yeti. That is a nice microphone. Okay. And free recording software like Audacity to keep initial costs low. Audacity is good too. And that is for, just audio podcasts. You know what I mean? This is a way that you can record yourself, right?
Okay.
But at the same time, like I said earlier, I'm like, listen, you got your phone. And if you want to take it to a whole nother level, you ain't get that, but I know leaning on talking about. I just had to do it. But if you want to do that, there's microphones that you can plug into your phone. Okay. And you can get lighting. Like, a lot of people is getting a ring light.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend a ring light for everybody.
Yeah.
But there's cheap lighting, like from Amazon or whatever. But also we talked about, sitting in front of a window,
Right.
when the sun's shining, you know what I mean? That's a great,
Natural light.
that's natural lighting. It's a great option. But, this is, I believe, referring to, again, just the audio podcast, right? And this is, I want to push y'all to do a video podcast and you have the audio too,
Yeah.
right? You could take the video and strip the audio and now you got both.
Yep.
So do both. But like we said, people getting to see you, getting to know you,
Right.
and, feel like this is like building a relationship and they're going to buy from the person that they know, like, and trust. So this is a good way to,
Right.
so I would lean more towards video and you can still do the audio side,
Yep.
right? You don't got to go live like we doing. It could be pre-recorded. That's fine
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just do it. Brandy, I know Brandy was talking about somebody told her to start a podcast. You need to. It ain't even got to be long. You know what I'm saying? Just like we was talking about, because Brandy does like, custom products and stuff like that. You can definitely do like behind the scenes conversation on what it is that you making.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The first time using a certain piece of equipment, or like, I know about the transfers and stuff like that, like using a certain company to buy certain things that you use when you make this stuff.
Right.
Like, let's see if this one really gonna work like they say.
Yeah.
And actually film that.
And talk about the particular products that you have, not the products that you got to buy to make the product that you're making. Brands,
All that.
people talk about brands all the time, like, oh, that's a good brand, or
Yeah. But Brandy, like we said earlier though, try to find an affiliate link though. If you're gonna talk about that stuff,
that's true.
try to find an affiliate link, because if you find something good, then you can use your link for other people
Yep.
to purchase, and then you will get a percentage of that. So that's a way to monetize it.
Yep. Very true.
You know what I'm saying? Don't just be talking about people's product and you ain't getting nothing from it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I do it, but I need to get better at it.
Right.
Just, you know
You're
what I mean? Because it's like, you want to keep going with what you're doing.
Right.
So eventually, having a passion for something is great. But eventually it's like, come on, man. Like, if I could do this and support myself and my family, that's a plus. You know what I mean? So find a way to do that, right?
Right.
Monetize by way of affiliates or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So find a way, people.
Yeah.
You got to get started though. That's the point. Okay?
Just do it.
Just do it. That's right. All right, y'all. So listen, we are actually almost against time here. I'm just going to read this next one here, okay? Because it spoke about software, okay? So this is giving you software recommendations for recording and editing, okay? So it says, example, use GarageBand on Mac or Audacity on a PC for recording and basic editing. Upgrade to Adobe Audition for advanced editing features, right? So listen, I'm going to tell y'all for real, when it comes down to, like, from what I found, a cheap editing software that's really good. And see, I should have an affiliate link, but CapCut.
Yeah. You need to get your link.
I know. I need links for a lot of stuff. It's all good though, y'all. It's all good. We're going to get there one of these days. All right. So Kim, I know I just ran my mouth. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you just wouldn't stop talking. No, just kidding.
I'm passionate about this, y'all. So listen, y'all, we are at time. We were a little late jumping on today because of some technical issues. We didn't get to go live on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
But we just like, listen, we still got to do this, man. It is what it is, right?
Yep.
Yeah. What's the word of the day, Kim? Was it adaptability? So we had to adapt.
We had to adapt.
Gotta do what we gotta do. Know what I mean?
To make it happen. Quit for what?
All right. So we talked about getting our polls, our surveys.
Yeah.
Let's see what Brandy just said here. Yeah, Brandy said, I love and appreciate this podcast.
Aww.
100. Oh, Brandy. We love and appreciate you too.
Aww.
Everybody, all y'all joining. Yeah, we appreciate y'all for real.
Oh.
So yeah, that's it. Kim, you got anything else you want to share with the people?
I don't have anything else tonight.
You don't got nothing else on tonight. All right. So listen, y'all, just as a reminder, we are live every Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m. EST. This is Quit for What, and I greatly appreciate y'all. We greatly appreciate y'all.
Yes.
And I'm going to leave y'all with what I always leave y'all with, and that is to do what you got to do to make it happen. Don't give up. Quit for what. Until next time.
Peace.